Hey everyone, Rick here, and happy 10 years. I mean, that's what this is about right now. It has been 10 years plus at this point now, since all this even began back in 2010. Earlier than that, in 2009, when we started filming our first film. And that's what I wanted to talk about today, is because it has been 10 years, and a lot's been happening now, and a lot's happened since then, and everything in between, how it all began. It just felt like it'd be fun to reminisce. Boy, it's just crazy to think it has actually been that long now, over a decade. I wanted to take this opportunity to look back on how everything began, and everything that's led up to today. So back in 2010, I released a film called The Life of a Refrigerator Killer, and you've probably seen some stuff relating to that popping up off and on recently with what I've been working on. So it's funny to think this all started back in high school when I released The Fridge Killer, and back in 2009, during my second trimester, I had the chance to take a film and literature class, and that's what kickstarted this whole thing from just being a silly idea into creating a film that anyone can watch today if they want. So looking back in 2009, I've always been interested in film, the idea of creating movies and shows and stuff like that. It's always been a passion, and a few times even before high school I had these ideas, and that would be born from either filming little skits with my friends or footage of something and trying to put it into a cohesive narrative. The interest was there. But in high school, when I had that class, that's when things really took shape. We were introduced to film concepts and film structure, and it allowed me to finally understand what it was going to take to actually bring ideas to life properly. The fun thing about Film and Lit was around that same time, before we started filming our first full-length feature, so to speak, or our first feature presentation, we already had our own things happening at that point too. We had the stuff that we were required to do in Film and Lit, and I was also helping a really good friend of mine out with a project that he was working on in a different class, and it's kind of funny to think that's how it started, so to speak, but then it eventually led to the confidence to actually tackle something more than these little things. Like, it was so much fun doing those small projects that, hey, maybe it was actually worth trying to do something bigger. So that's where the incentive came in to actually do this extra credit assignment that was essentially making a film. The Fridge Killer movie itself came from a really bizarre concept. One of our class assignments had us going through these ideas on what could make for an interesting film, and out of all of them, the Fridge Killer idea was the one that stuck. And the whole premise of that, if you've seen the movie, is basically a horror parody where instead of a serial murderer, it's a serial fridge killer instead. And we had a lot of fun spoofing the genre, highlighting some infamous moments and putting our own little twist, and just kind of letting it go out of hand. But when I look back at it, though, we didn't really care if we were making a great movie. We were just having fun, spending time together, making something together, working together to even bring it to life. Everyone contributing something, whether it be a location or an idea or something to help jive the story in a way where it felt like we could at least finish it without it becoming impossible to finish, because we had a lot of crazy ideas. But yeah, just us being together to make this, that was one of the best parts about it, and that's what we were more worried about than anything, was just having fun, enjoying each other's company, working together to bring this idea to life, and we did. I think that's the best part about it, is through all that we did create a film, and it was something to look back on and laugh at and enjoy all the silly moments, the things that happened between takes, us getting ready for the next scene. There was just, we had a lot of fun, and that's the thing that I'll always remember most, is just the time spent with everyone in between, making the scenes, coming up with the great ideas when we were shooting, making our iconic moments that I feel stuck the most when you watch it. And it'll always have a special place in my heart for that reason. So much went into that between all of us bringing it to life. But After that, though, we graduated, and I realized that with each year, it was going to get tougher and tougher to even do anything like this. So I basically was like, hey guys, you want to do it again? I approached my friends, friends of friends, fellow actors, just whoever who was interested in being a part of this, and I started making more. So the next thing I know, that following summer, we were all together creating more stuff and making films, not just for grades, but because we enjoyed making the films. That's why we even made any more after that, was we had so much fun with Fridge Killer that it was just us realizing this was a lot of fun, and I wanted to do more with it. So I asked, and it turned out a lot of us wanted to do more, and the next thing I know, we're making other films and exploring new ideas and trying different things out and just broadening our horizons with concepts and tackling things that we hadn't done before when we did Fridge Killer, and getting a better understanding of what you can and can't do in a film, and just having fun with it. I think that's the best part. By that point, it was more than just a grade. It was bringing something to life because we all had a passion for it. And looking back, it's just crazy to think that we went from Fridge Killer and moved on to creating Galaga and Runaround and everything beyond that. I mean, I'm grateful for the fact that we all did this together, because I've made a lot of content with these films. It's crazy to think that without Fridge Killer, none of the other projects that I wound up doing with everyone would have even happened at all, and none of the cool stuff that we did from it probably would have happened either. I mean, we had premieres even for the future films we did, both for Galaga and for Runaround. We actually were able to use spaces to actually give it a screening amongst the people that were involved and their friends and people they knew. It was just incredible, from the premieres to showcasing them online to people. Just, yeah, it's crazy to think that without that movie, without that starting things off. I'm glad that we all had the chance to do this together, because after those, I started creating even more content and bringing more ideas to life, and having help from friends and family and everyone in between that wanted to try my crazy concepts out. And it's just fun to think that we've done so much, and I've released so many films that so many people were responsible for helping bring to life. I've done fan films off of movies and games and stuff that I've had interest in. I've been able to explore original ideas other than just, comedy, but actually doing more surreal and bizarre stuff. Rambling aside, I just wanted to say thank you for everyone who's been watching all the different content, from the shorts to the fan films to the original ideas, from the goofy comedy skits to the more serious tone stories to the more psychological. Just so much has been done in these 10 years, and this year has been tough. It's been rough on everyone. I don't know anyone that hasn't had something because of this year just throw everything out of whack, and it has thrown everything out of whack. But there's still so much left to do, and here we are 10 years later, and I want to say thank you to all of you that are still here watching this content back when it started as Ricworks and as it molded into RBIII and just everything in between. But despite everything that's been going on, I'm not done by any means. I still have plenty of ideas I plan on debuting as soon as I can. I'm working on another Star Wars fan film. I have Division, after all this time wanting to properly showcase it, looking for the correct means. I think I finally got it, so plenty of stuff that I've been waiting to showcase. Stuff that honestly would not have been possible today if I hadn't had the chance to meet so many different people through the things that they worked on, to the things I collaborated with them, contributed to. I mean, I've had help from fellow colleagues to mentors to so many different people, both in the industry and out of the industry, allowing any of this stuff to happen. Different walks of life, that none of this would have been possible without their help. So it's all the more reason why I owe it to not just me, but to all of you after all this time, to let you guys finally see what's been happening since the early years and all of our original content that we've debuted. I wanted to say thank you to everyone who helped bring these films to life, to everyone that's been watching them, giving me feedback, giving their ideas, just opening up all the possibilities, giving me the chance to explore concepts and stories that have been dancing around in here and wanting to take shape. And thanks to all of you, I've had the chance to bring a lot of ideas to life that would have just stayed ideas in my head. So it means a lot to everyone that I'm close to everyone that I'm not close with anymore. You all contributed, and I couldn't have done it without any of you, from those that helped behind the camera, in front of the camera, and in front of the TV or the phone. Just all of you are responsible for where this is at today, and I couldn't have done it without any of you. There's so much more still in store. We're now in January of a new year, and I have a lot of stuff that I'm finally wanting to put into the spotlight. So I hope you're all planning on sticking around, because I have plenty more to show everyone. So, thanks again, and until the next one, farewell.